So we have a field which explores the intersection of brain, belief, and spirituality, and we call that neurotheology. Neurotheology is a new interdisciplinary field that seeks to understand the relationship between the brain and religious or spiritual experiences. By combining neuroscience with theological and philosophical questions, neurotheology examines how brain activity and structure may correlate with mystical, spiritual, and religious states of consciousness. The field itself has gained increasing attention in the last few decades as advances in brain imaging technology have allowed researchers to study the neural correlates of religious and spiritual experiences in greater detail. This video is going to explore the history, the development, and the scope of neurotheology, key studies, prominent scholars in the field, and its intersectionality with spirituality. The roots of neurotheology can be traced back to the early philosophical inquiries into the nature of consciousness, the mind-body problem, and human spirituality. Ancient thinkers such as Plato, Aristotle, St. Augustine pondered the connection between the divine and the human mind. However, the systematic study of the brain's role in religious experiences began only in the 20th century with the advent of modern neuroscience. The term neurotheology was coined in 1997 by neuroscientist Andrew Newberg, a leading figure in the field. Newberg's work was instrumental in drawing connections between brain science and spiritual experience, particularly through his studies on meditation, prayer, and mystical experiences. His groundbreaking book, Why God Won't Go Away, in 2001, co-authored with psychologist Eugene Dacquely, was credited with bringing neurotheology into public consciousness. Newberg's research on studying brain activity of individuals engaged in religious practices such as monks in meditation or nuns in prayer using brain imaging techniques was fairly novel. The development of neurotheology was further accelerated by advancements in brain imaging technologies like functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, and positron emission tomography, PET, which made it possible to observe and analyze the brain in real time. This technological progress allowed researchers to investigate the neural correlates of experiences like altered states of consciousness, near-death experiences, and feelings of transcendence. So what is neurotheology? At its core, neurotheology seeks to explore the ways in which religious experiences and spiritual beliefs are linked to brain function and structure. It asks questions such as, how does the brain generate feelings of connection to a higher power? What neurological mechanisms are involved in mystical experiences? Can brain states explain phenomena like the sense of unity or transcendence, often reported by those in religious ecstasy? The field operates at the intersection of several disciplines, including neuroscience, psychology, theology, philosophy, and anthropology. Neurotheology is not just concerned with understanding brain mechanisms, it also aims to bridge the gap between science and spirituality, attempting to reconcile how the physical brain can give rise to profound experiences of faith, meaning, and purpose. One of the central ideas in neurotheology is that the brain may be hardwired to experience spiritual or religious states. Some researchers propose that humans may have evolved cognitive and neural mechanisms that predispose us to religious belief, or that religious experiences might be a byproduct of brain functions that evolve for other purposes. For example, social bonding, pattern recognition, and agency detection. So what are the studies in neurotheology up to this point? Well, the field of neurotheology has been marked by a variety of pioneering studies that examine how specific brain regions are activated during religious or spiritual experiences. Some of the notable studies include Andrew Newberg's studies, one of the earliest and most influential studies in neurotheology being conducted by Newberg and his colleagues. They used PET scans to study the brains of individuals who were engaged in deep prayer or meditation. Their research found that when people meditated or prayed, there was increased activity in the frontal lobes associated with focused attention as well as concentration, while the parietal lobes associated with spatial awareness showed decreased activity. This reduction in parietal activity is thought to explain feelings of transcendence or oneness with the universe. The God spot. One of the most popular findings in neurotheology is the idea of a God spot in the brain, a term coined by Newberg. His research suggested that certain regions of the brain, such as the temporal lobes, might be particularly involved in religious experiences. The temporal lobes have been linked to auditory and visual hallucinations, as well as to religious experiences like hearing divine voices. However, the concept of a God spot remains controversial, scientifically speaking, with critics arguing that it oversimplifies the complex neural underpinnings of spirituality. What about studies on meditation and mystical experiences? Well, research on the brains of individuals practicing mindfulness meditation, especially among Buddhist monks, has provided some additional insights into neurotheology. Studies have found that long-term meditation leads to structural changes in the brain, particularly in areas related to emotional regulation, self-awareness, and attention. These changes are thought to correlate with reports of heightened states of spiritual awareness and emotional balance. For example, a study led by Richard Davidson at the University of Wisconsin found that experienced meditators exhibited higher levels of activity in the left prefrontal cortex. This is a brain region associated with positive emotions and an overall good sense of well-being. Near-death experiences. Near-death experiences have also been studied within the context of neurotheology. Research has shown that people who report NDEs often describe feelings of transcendence, encounters with divine beings, or the sensation of leaving the body. Some neuroscientists suggest that NDEs could be the result of oxygen deprivation in the brain, chemical changes in the brain during moments of extreme stress, or activation of the temporal lobes. Who are some of the leading experts in neurotheology? Well, several scholars have become prominent figures in the field of neurotheology, contributing to its development, bringing attention to the intersection of science and spirituality. As we've discussed several times earlier in this video, we have Andrew Newberg, who, as the founder of neurotheology, has been instrumental in shaping the field. His work focuses on understanding how spiritual experiences relate to brain activity, and he has authored several books and papers on the topic. We also have Ralph W. Hood, Jr., a psychologist and researcher at the University of Tennessee of Chattanooga. Hood is known for his work on the psychology of religious experience, and his research has explored how mystical experiences may be related to brain function. We also have Richard Davidson, who is a neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin. Davidson is renowned for his work on the neural basis of emotion as well as meditation. His studies have explored how the brain changes with long-term meditation practice and how these changes might relate to spiritual well-being. Jeffrey Anderson. A researcher at the University of Utah, Anderson is focused on the neural correlates of religious experiences. His work involves using fMRI to investigate how the brain responds to religious stimuli, such as prayers or scripture. What can neurotheology hope to accomplish? Neurotheology aims to achieve several key goals. The first is understanding the neuroscience of spirituality. By identifying which regions of the brain are activated during religious experiences, neurotheology hopes to provide insight into how and why humans have such experiences. This knowledge could help unravel the mystery of why spirituality is so central to human existence. Bridging the gap between science and religion. One of the most ambitious goals of neurotheology is to reconcile scientific explanations of the mind with religious and spiritual beliefs. By demonstrating that religious experiences may have some neurological basis, neurotheology could offer a new framework for understanding the relationship between the brain, consciousness, and the divine. Improving mental health. Insights from neurotheology could also have practical applications in mental health. For example, studies on meditation and spiritual practices might inform what kind of therapeutic techniques might be good for treating anxiety, depression, and PTSD based on their actual functions and effects on the brain. What about the intersection of neurotheology and spirituality? Neurotheology does not aim to disprove or diminish the validity of spiritual experiences, but rather seeks to understand how these experiences are connected to the brain. The field raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness and human existence. Can spiritual experiences be explained purely in terms of brain chemistry, or do they point to something transcendent, something that even science may not be able to identify right away? This intersection of spirituality and science may offer new perspectives on the nature of human belief and the role of spirituality in shaping our lives. In conclusion, neurotheology is a promising field that seeks to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. By studying the brain's role in religious and spiritual experiences, neurotheology hopes to offer insights into how these profound experiences might arise from the brain's functioning. While still in its infancy, neurotheology has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of consciousness, the nature of belief, and the brain's connection to the divine. As this field grows, it could provide a deeper appreciation for the intricate relationship between the mind, the body, and the spiritual dimensions of human life. If you like this message, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, safe space, all are welcome. If you're returning, I'm glad that you're back. In the name of the Most High God, I wish you health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance, blessings, and protection as you so deserve. Remember, within you lies a great power. Don't forget that. Science or no science, stay prayed up, stay meditating, constantly work on becoming a better person, constantly work on your connection to God. Take care. Have a wonderful day.